What is up, guys and girls, and welcome back to DecDoesInvesting, the wealth, investing and finance channel. Before we start, I'd like to ask you to hit the subscribe button to join me on my journey, and also hit the like button to help me out with that YouTube algorithm. In today's video, I have episode 24 of my dividend investing journey, and it's been a while since I last gave you an update, as these episodes take a long time to prepare and edit, and with my work commitments at the moment, I've had to stop the weekly updates. So for the foreseeable future, I'll just be doing a monthly update in which I will cover any new additions, any positions that I have sold, and also cover any dividend income that I have received. So you guys are still getting a view on how my portfolio is changing and developing, along with how my investment style and approach adapts to the ever-changing markets. So kicking things off, I will start with all the positions that I have sold this month. I'd like to point out that I'm not an advocate of selling stocks, as I'm very much a buy and hold investor. However, there are a few reasons as to why I have sold as many positions as I have. So kicking things off, I sold out of my position in Virgin Money on the 8th of June because I felt I was very exposed to the financial sector already, and Virgin Money had been a very volatile stock in the portfolio, which I bought pre-pandemic and then averaged down quite heavy during the start of the crash. Therefore, once my position was back into the green, I wanted to remove all this element of risk and deploy my capital elsewhere. The next stocks I sold out of were Unilever, Johnson & Johnson and also 3M, in which I sold out on the 23rd of June. Once again, all of these stocks were in the green and I was reluctant to sell them. However, at that moment in time, I wasn't too confident in the markets short term, nor am I now. And with this capital being tied up in my basic account, I simply wanted to remove it whilst in profit and then transfer it into my tax sheltered ISA, which is what I did. I'm very much still a fan of all these stocks, and if the chance presents itself again, I would probably invest in these companies once again, as they are all great dividend paying companies. Now moving on to the new additions to the portfolio, I will start with Wetherspoons, in which I purchased 42 shares for an average price per share of £11.63. I then also purchased more Wetherspoons to average down my position, in which I brought 33 shares for an average price per share of £10.46, leaving me with a cost basis of £11.11 per share. I then purchased 98 shares of Aviva for an average price per share of £2.52, and also an additional 172 shares for an average price per share of £2.90, which now gives me a cost basis of £3.04 per share. Once again, I have also taken the opportunity to average down my position in Legal & General, which was one of the stocks that I heavily invested in during the pandemic. I made 2 rounds of investments this month, in which I purchased 121 shares for an average price per share of £2.15, and also 237 shares for an average price per share of £2.41, which now leaves my Legal & General position with a cost basis of £2.53. The next purchase I made was a big one, and was in Redrow, in which I purchased 184 shares for an average price per share of £5.40, which was at its recent peak unfortunately, but I also picked up 84 more shares at £4.70, reducing my cost basis to £5.18. I made positions in AMD, in which I purchased 11.7 shares for $53.62 per share, Tate & Lyle, in which I brought 72 shares for £6.87 per share, and most recently Diageo, in which I purchased 18 shares for £26.86 per share. Finally, to wrap up my additions, I also averaged down my position in Pfizer, in which I purchased 19.1 shares for $31.74, bringing my new cost basis to £27.28. So I've invested a lot of capital this month, with a lot of it coming from the selling of my positions as stated earlier. I'm very happy with the averaging down that I've managed to achieve, and also I've added some solid stocks such as AMD, Tate & Lyle, Diageo and also Redrow, which have bags of potential in the future. The top 3 performing stocks in my portfolio are MasterCard, in which I'm up 22%, Uber, which I'm up 8.9%, and Greggs, which I'm up 2.3%. Now my entry point on MasterCard was fantastic, and I brought near its lows during the pullback. However, Greggs and Uber have been much higher in more recent times, and in terms of Greggs, I can now see it approaching a price that I'll be happy to load upon them again. The worst 3 performing stocks in my portfolio are HSBC, in which I'm down 24.6%, Redrow, in which I'm down 14.7%, and Aviva, in which I'm down 9.8%. HSBC is a position that I'm just going to sit and hold for now, as I'm not very hopeful for their future moving forward. However, I'm reluctant to ever sell a stock at a loss. Redrow and Aviva, on the other hand, are stocks that I do believe in and are currently going through a hard time due to the pandemic. But with their forecasted growth and dividend yields, I'm very happy to keep averaging my positions down in them. During the month of June, I received 5 dividend payments totaling a very nice £45.35, with the majority of it being received from Legal & General, which paid a lovely dividend of £31.72. With that being said, the other dividends from Johnson & Johnson, 3M, Pfizer and Unilever were just as appreciated. Currently, the yield of my portfolio is currently sitting at 2.29%, but with many companies having suspended their dividends, such as Aviva and Redrow for example, then this yield will then rise once again once we get back to some sort of normality. But when that will be, however, is yet to be known. So wrapping up this portfolio update, we can see that the portfolio is currently down 4.85%, or 4.22% if we include dividend income and currency gain. Despite my portfolio being down, I'm still in a very positive place with it, as I'm using these times as an opportunity to load up while stocks are on a discount, and to only be down 4% during the midst of uncertainty, I'm very happy. So thanks for watching guys. If you've liked the video, please drop it a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and if you've missed any previous updates, there will be a link to the playlist in the description down below, along with some other videos that may be of interest. And until next time, peace.